Yo, people, what's happening? Are you confused? It is not I, Botswana. Wait, where's my camera? Let me turn my camera. Welcome to Football Power Hour, people, where we have to rescue our friends from stopping to end their stuff prematurely. Why are we doing this? But let's not waste people. Let me just drop the link. I will fix my video thing. Please like. This might be my last day on Football Power Hour. Just like, subscribe. We're taking over. We're taking over. Here's the link. I can't pin it, so if you need the link later on, just drop it. While you're doing that, just in case you're confused, this is what is going on. Of course. You know when you are in the middle of a speech in WWE and you just hear that theme song, you know what's going on. Let me bring on my people. Shout out to Young Papi. What's up?
Big up, my boy. What you saying?
Nah, bro. I'm okay, bro. I saw the criminality in the background. I was about to take over and he ended it, bro. I was not happy.
Oh, that's criminal. That criminal. Oh, Lord. On this beautiful day,
Dude. But how you doing, bro? What you say?
I'm
Did
alright,
you guys
man.
even talk about United?
What's up?
Did you guys even talk about like Cunha, anything? I just
Well,
players,
I tried to
players.
talk about Cunha. I don't know about everybody else. Between Cunha and the Jarzes.
That is crazy. Hey, doctor. I don't think Bots thought I was being serious. He's probably at work somewhere now. Where's Riri? Riri used to come back. Did Bots? Yes, he did. And we are tired of it. We seek justice. Bots thinks he can do this and get away with it, bro. This criminal, bro.
Every time, too. Hey, everybody, like, is not the only person with keys to the castle.
That's right, bro. I kicked down the door and came through, bro. That's what we're doing on the Football Power Hour. As Kenny was saying, we're gonna call it Vegeta Power Hour for today. No football
Vegeta.
power. But what you saying, bro, about the official signing of the contract from Cunha? I know it's been done,
I mean,
but
it's like, why did it take, like, why, why is it, like, so long every time? Like, we already knew it was done, like, what, about a month ago now? Just
yeah.
could have been had it done another debate with, and just move on to the next person. Like,
Yeah, I thought we'd sneak Mbeumo in, to be honest, as much as the window was short, but I suppose we're still haggling over money. I think the Cunha thing, it's just, the press. They're just trying to get as much out
yeah,
of this signing as much as possible. It's just PR. We are social media football club at the end of the day. We're not like the other clubs that just sign.
100%. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, bro. Unfortunately, look at this 6 out of 10. Where are the other 4 people? Let's show bots that people wanted the show to keep going. Shout out to my man, Joe Blackman. Yes, bro. I took over, bro. We're tired of the criminality. Joe, I need you to remind KG that this man needs to go on trial for his YouTube crimes. He can't. I don't think that chip taught him enough a lesson. He needs another one. Bots needs another hot chip. We need to spin the wheel. Let me see if my camera's working. Boom. Can't host the show with no camera. There we go. What is y'all saying? Looks like
Yeah,
Arsenal now bid for Gyökeres. Barcelona will not buy Rashford. I never thought they would buy him. They still have to pull levers. What are they going to buy him with? What are they going to buy Rashford with, bro? I swear they only registered almost this January and they bought him in the summer. Am I crazy? So I don't know what Rashford is thinking. Good luck to him. Are you worried about the Gyökeres deal, by the way, young puppy?
Eucharist. Really honest, in all honesty, when it comes to me personally, like since Wayne Rooney left, I don't have any attachments to like any players in football. I don't really
Yeah.
care who comes. I just need guys to play football, like play as a team, not as an individual. So Personally, it doesn't really bother me, like, but um, on the other side of things, like, let's say a deal kind of bother me. It's irritating. Like, I want United to just move fast and get the players that they, need before everybody else and before preseason comes and stuff. Like, so they got a chance to gel with the team as well. Like,
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, bro. I think the window's reopening what in five? What did they say? 5 days or something? Do you
yeah,
expect
something like that.
to see Mbuemo come in immediately, just like with Cunha? Because we literally opened in
Well,
January and
my
Cunha
expectation,
opened.
yes, 100%. My expectation would be yes. I would give them that week. Within the first week, we should have him signed, sealed, done, number, all of that. Their jerseys printed out. The kids could go buy it now, and like, yeah, that should be done. Um, but yeah, that's my expectation at least. Like, again, I would like this team to move fast. Now that I know that's not the United way of doing things, but I would just like to see change for once.
I hear what you're saying, bro, and hopefully we get the change from Ineos. I'm gonna bring in. I don't know who M is. I'm gonna assume it's Manj. Maybe I'm wrong. Welcome to M.
Yo, isn't.
Correct. There we go. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Make sure you like and subscribe to Vegeta Summer, Halftime with Vegeta. You know, he's on the Crooks channel today. Shout out to Young Puppy as well. And yeah,
Yes,
man,
big
what
up
you guys saying,
yourself.
man?
Yeah, bro. What you saying, bro? Are you worried about Gyökeres? How you feeling about Cunha officially signing today?
No worries about Gyökeres. June 12th, we're chilling. When there's news, we will talk about it. Cunha, I didn't realize we signed him. I'm being sarcastic. And yeah, I'm pretty calm and chill about the whole situation, man.
Nice. Shout out to man like Brush, bro. I'm taking over the channel. How you doing?
Big up Vegeta. Yeah, pleasure to be here, man. I'm not too bad, bro. How are you?
I'm alright, man. I can't complain. Just I'm pissed at bots, bro. He can't keep getting away with these impromptu streams, bro.
With
And
the
people are
crazy endings, yeah? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, I
People are
told him.
trying
I
to
told him
get
you're
their
gonna
thoughts on-
unsubscribe.
I was this close to unsubscribing and canceling my membership.
He needs to work on a proper outro video.
Oh, look, everybody's pulling up. Fantastic. This is what bots was missing. And look at this panel, guys. Shout out to Courts, bro. How you doing?
What's going on? I'm good. I'm good. Is my audio okay?
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
it's all
You
right,
good,
man. Big
bro.
up, Quartz.
All good.
Big up, big up, big up. What's going on, everyone?
Yeah, guys. So, what are you guys saying about the window? Do you also feel the way Young Puppy does? Do you kind of disappointed we didn't get one or two more people in, or is it just part and parcel of it was 1 week? We'll get back to it when it reopens. Anybody can go.
It's still early days, isn't it? So we have to give it time, I guess. But yeah, my concern though, Vegeta, is that while it's all good and well that we're concentrating on the front line, I see gaps everywhere else on the field, and I'd like a few more positions addressed. Hopefully that will happen as the window goes on, but I know a lot of it depends this summer on sales as well. And there's one or two that I can definitely see lingering, but especially the Rashford and Sancho ones. I would
Mm.
like solutions for them as soon as possible because I can see that going all the way to the end of the window.
I hear that, bro. Shout out to Doctor and Pav. I see you guys. You pulled up. How are you guys doing?
All right, yeah.
Good, man.
I'm alright. Can't complain. What are you guys saying about our window so far? What do you guys want to see moving forward?
Go on, Doc. I'll
I
let you go.
mean, yeah, I mean, it's been a week. I feel like even though the window is closed officially, there's discussions happening behind closed doors on what to do. I mean, I feel like Anthony Malacia. People tend to forget about Malacia because he's not as loud as Anthony or Sancho. But I feel like he might stay in PSV. I don't think we heard any complaints about him, whether be it negative or positive. So possible, I feel like that's a possible sale. Um, Anthony probably might also get either another loan deal or a sale. So I'm positive about that. Sancho is the one that is not surprisingly, but Sancho's the one that we definitely have to. It's going to be the hardest to move on, but we definitely have to move him on, even if it means I'll pay you. If the board just has to just pay him off and he becomes a free agent and he figures his life out, they should do that. I know it's a waste of like it means you're losing money, but sometimes it's better to lose money that way, you know.
Nah, I hear you,
So
doctor. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it, Rashford at this point he can go because I think Cunha is taking his number anyway. So that's a positive. His number is being taken away from him. That means there's a positive at this point. Go. I wish him well. He did well at Villa. He can go by.
Damn, they took Rashford's number
The,
from him.
Yeah.
the thing is, the thing is with Rashford though, it's all well and good saying he can go, and I'm not saying I want to keep Rashford. Is the who are the suitors for him? This is what when you look at our problem,
Yeah.
it's like we've got loads of players, and let's just say Luke Shaw and Mason Mount are going to be here next season. I don't think that's kind of. I think we just have to accept that no one's going to take those players right now with the contracts they're on. Their lack of a bit of availability, they're here. It is what it is. But if you look at a Rashford and a Sancho, no one in world football, the few clubs in world football who could pay them their wages that they're currently on, wouldn't go near them. So it's all well and good saying, let's get rid of these players. And we all want to, but it's like, if you kind of look at it practically, who is going to pay them? Like, no one. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Rashford goes. No, Rashford goes on loan, and we're having to subsidize half of his wages again.
You see, with Rashford, yeah, what's the problem is, I reckon he's going to insist on Barcelona in it, and then that will make our position difficult. Ideally, I would love it if like a Tottenham or someone come in for him. I think that's a move that makes a lot of sense, where he can go and make an instant impact, and Son's getting old, and they've got money and stuff. But if he just is insistent on Barcelona, I think it makes it difficult because we know what they're like as well with their finances and pulling levers left, right, and center, and they'll try and get it on a loan deal. So
Yeah.
Can I bring something up on Rashford? Right now, you've started the conversation.
Yeah.
Go on.
Why would anyone want him? I feel like his brand is dead now. Who talks about Rashford nowadays?
I still think he's a decent footballer, though, Pav. I think
No, not about that. I know, but the money that he's on, he's not worth his football ability. Is not worth the salary he's on. The reason why he's on that salary, was probably 60% brand and football, 40% football ability. Now that his brand, I feel like his brand is dead. What does he do in terms of his brand?
You see the position we put ourselves in at the time, bro, where he had that brilliant season and his contract was expiring. So, the ball was in his court when we offered him that contract, and obviously he doesn't justify it now.
And Brush, this is where it shows that we were run by idiots. Because the season before, where he had a down season,
would have been the time to offer him a contract.
Would have been the time to offer him a contract because you would have naturally.
Not even that. I think PSG were interested in him, so they could have just sold him. But
sold him or gone right.
We waited until he had the season of his life in the last year of his contract, and then on paper it looks stupid if you let him walk out for free because he's an asset in his mid-20s and he just put up big numbers.
You couldn't have let go of a striker who just scored 30 goals in a season.
Yeah, full-fledged England
an attacker,
all of that.
Attacker who just scored 30 goals, who was on fire. But what the smart thing would have done, right? This guy's had a down season. If you actually look at what he's done, he's had a lot of okay seasons in his career. There's been a couple really good ones. I'd say most of his seasons have been okay in terms of double-digit goals and assists. This was a down season. This is where you offer him the contract because you're in a position of strength because you say, right, you've not had a great season, but we're still putting faith in you. Here's 200 grand a week. And if you offer him 180 to 200, which is still high, but was probably what he would have got.
And the smart
that's a movable salary. That's a sellable salary.
Yeah, this is the thing, bro. If they wanted to pay him, they could have structured it differently, innit? They could have gave him a fat signing on bonus, but the wages, you keep it in line so that, we don't run into these issues where people just bulk at the 300k plus a week.
Yeah, it's so bizarre, like the jumps or the leaps that we make in terms of wages. It's like we're playing FIFA with the sliders, bro. It's like a person's aiming 40, we go, he has a light 300, and I'm like, how did we get there, bro? Because
Yeah, even the Sancho one, bro. The jump up
The
at the age
Sancho
he
one was
was at was
ridiculous.
insane. Because for a player of his age, yeah, even if you're thinking long term, you're thinking we're gonna have to give this brother 2 more contract extensions before he reaches his prime. You
Yeah,
know, but it
yeah,
because
makes no difference.
in another world where
Makes no
Sancho
sense.
has balled out for these last
Yeah,
3 years
yeah.
and been an amazing him being on something, that changes. And I know Champions League football, but say it's 300 grand a week, and he was 23 at the time or 20, like, and you go, this guy's balled out for 2 years. He's not in a contract negotiation. He's naturally going to get more the next contract. Where do you go from that?
Where do you go from there? Like, eventually, you're gonna end up on a player on like 500-600 grand a week. It's madness.
yeah, no, it's crazy. But let me use this opportunity to introduce Riri to the conversation. How you doing, Riri?
Hey, gents. I was just listening.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Vegeta, thank you for being the sensible one in the bots and Vegeta combination.
Somebody has to be.
Somebody has to save this channel. What is he doing?
I just wanna give you your flowers for stepping in, and
Nah. For sure, for sure. I also want to
saving
give people like
saving
opportunity.
football power hour from itself. Basically.
We need to go back to the football because we were going down lanes I did not understand in the last minute.
I think Bot started his second channel and just he doesn't realize that this is not the channel for his second channel.
He's trying to combine the two. I'm like, I was like, I can't pull up to a football power hour and not hear about Diddy right now. It's getting a bit crazy.
And baby oil, bro. And baby oil.
And Court, once it passes the hour mark, forget everything, bro. He loses all composure.
I was on a meeting, so I wasn't like completely paying attention. What are we discussing right now? I'm sorry.
It's just the transfer of United as a whole in terms of outgoings,
okay.
or the ingoings,
Yeah,
where you
well,
are with the window.
Like I said, I think I said a couple of weeks ago, we're not good with transfers. We're not good with selling, and that gives me pause every summer, because the track record speaks for itself. Like we're not good with getting rid of players when we should get rid of them. We're not good with closing a deal. I don't think anybody in our club has read the art of closing a deal. Like somebody needs to buy that book and like share it out to everybody.
To give credit to Ineos though, I would say, as in, there's a lot they've done wrong, but I'd say their ability to not go crazy with the pricings that they buy players for. Because I think if you look at, I'd say the Ugarte one, they overpaid, and I think that's obvious. But if you look at De Ligt and Mazraoui, was it like 60 million for the both of them? Which
Yeah, overall, I'm not too mad at Ineos and their transfers. Like you say, I think if we really assess it, the Ugarte one, yeah, I think we paid about 10 million more than what he's worth. But overall, I don't think there's been any abject failures. There's one or two where the jury's still out.
Russian courts. I wasn't talking about like the pricing stuff. I was just talking about how
just
drawn
generally
out it is. Just generally.
Oh yeah, no, we hear that.
How
generally we've been a hot mess.
Yeah. That's not where my comment was going. Yeah, I'm sorry if it landed wrong, but
that's all.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about like the pricing. Like, yeah, where the pricing is concerned, they've been making some really good deals with regards to spending on players and not overpaying for most players. But where it comes to like closing deals, like it's just for time we've been that club that doesn't do it right away. I mean, people give Cunha as an example, but Cunha had a release clause, and we were able to pay that release clause in order to get him. So it was easy for that. When it comes to having like this Imbumo situation, when it comes to us having to negotiate, that's where we fall down, because the process is a little bit more tedious and arduous for us because of where our finances are apparently at. You know what I mean?
guys.
So, and I
wish
put that
had the
I put that in
breaking
air
news
quotes because I don't, people say certain things, but I still don't believe it. But yeah.
Say that again, Vegeta.
I said I wish I had a breaking news button. I'll just use my breaking news button that I created today.
See,
I like yours better.
breaking news turns up when you're streaming, not bots, man. Bots is too much on the oil nowadays.
Wow.
But bots would be breaking news about who the latest wag is or something like that.
Aye.
Nah.
Can you
But no,
screen share the tweet, Vegeta?
I was trying and my stream almost bombed out. I'll just read it and then I'll bring it up just now. Let's see. It basically says Man United have now officially entered the race for Hugo Ekitike. Man United have made contact with Eintracht Frankfurt within the last 48 hours, expressed concrete interest, and gathered all the relevant information. So basically, Gyökeres is beefing, and United are like, damn, this don't look good, bro. We're going on. Let's go look at other people.
But Frankfurt won 100 mil for this guy, bro.
I'm not mad at it, you know.
I like the fact that we're not going.
100 million euros they want for him. They already rejected Chelsea. They already rejected Chelsea's bid, so they want 100 mil.
How much did they sell?
I feel like they're using our name, for a bidding war.
Was Kolo Muane at Frankfurt?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And they sold him for mad money as well, innit?
Yep.
Yeah. I've never. Has anyone actually watched Ekitike? I'm butchering. Is it? It's Ekitike, innit?
Yeah. Hugo Ekitike.
Has anyone actually? I've watched it. I know nothing about him.
On a couple of streams, that I said he moves like Isaac moves. Yeah, he's similar to Isaac, but not the Isaac level. Player at the minute.
Way off the finished article, man. He's not the guy you go for if you want goals.
But he has got a lot of quality, and I reckon he will be a top player. But for 100 million right now,
it doesn't make any sense for that fee.
Yep,
with the Brexit thing, what is that like? That's euros, and you guys are what?
I think it's about 80 to 85 million pound, maybe.
It'll be like 85 mil, roughly about 85 mil.
Like I said, I reckon they're using our name for a bidding war.
Bidding war with who though? Chelsea?
Chelsea and Liverpool. How old, Vegeta? How old is he? Can you check? I think he was quite young.
Yeah, we can do that. I can do that right now.
Ekitike is what, like 22, 23? It's quite young.
TK, he is currently 22 years old.
Huh?
He's 22. So
do we have like his stats and stuff, or no? I know we're putting pressure on you right now, bro.
No, that's cool. We can do that. We can bring the stats up. I'm just gonna have to switch to the other screen now. I'll bring it up. Let me stop sharing this, but you guys can keep talking in the meantime while I bring this up.
I don't know about that price, bro. Like that price is kind of.
Yeah, well,
I'm surprised.
Especially what Brush was saying. Like we've been doing good business where we haven't been overpaying and stuff like that.
I'll tell you what, though, really, even this summer, like I'm looking at it with a fine tooth comb. Even like Cunha, I know it's a release clause, but for me, that is the high end of what his value is.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
So it's one of those that he really has to hit the ground running.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Pav, what did you say? What was Chelsea's bid that got rejected?
I think Chelsea bid way less than that. I think they wanted to pay something like 40 or 50, and Frankfurt come back and said we want 100 mil.
It's because they know
if they rejected 40 to 50, then we're nowhere near. Like I don't see us paying over 50, 60 for him, just because 60 seems to be their max.
Who's max? Our max, course?
I got the stats.
Our max.
And I don't fault that max either. Like I don't.
Anyway, the stats, people. Man has. Sorry, go ahead, Riri.
No. I was saying I'm good with that max for us. Like I don't want
Yeah,
us to
drop off.
overspend for players again.
Nah.
Like going forward, and end up like the guys were saying earlier with a Rashford situation.
Crashed. Yeah, testing. Am I back? Damn. I think I
Yes,
crashed
you
my
are.
screen.
You're back.
There. Okay, cool. Can you guys still see the stats though?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can see the breakdown.
Or they're gone?
No, they're there.
All righto. So I'm surprised you actually requested stats, but here you go. He's got 48 appearances
I did it for
in total
everybody else,
across
not
his
me.
career. 20, cool. He's got 22 goals. Not bad for 48 appearances, 12 assists, and we don't care about the rest. What do you guys think? Deliberate.
I still don't think he's
100.
worth 80 million.
Yeah, and
I
I've
don't
not really
think.
seen enough of him to fully make a decision, Vegeta.
Yeah,
I know he
based
was
on
a
like the eye
talented young
test.
man. I know PSG scouted him, and they had him on their books for a little while, and they're quite good with their scouting and stuff. So I don't doubt that he's got potential, but I just don't think he's the right man for us right now.
But like when they're saying that United has done all their research, what research have they done? Because the other guy's cheaper, technically, even at the normal release clause, if I'm not mistaken. The one
I'm not gonna
who's
lie,
like
United do look at a lot of these players first, and then we just never buy them, and then Pep just comes along and gets the good ones, and yeah. So that's basically the problem there. We just look at the players and don't even, you know, offer anything or whatever the case could be.
What I'd like
And
us
that,
to start doing is scouting some of these South Americans and getting them in early before
Hell
they make
yeah,
that
yeah,
bro.
big
That's what I'm
move.
saying. Like
Hell yeah.
You
even
know, when
Julian
these
South
guys are
Alvarez,
Americans,
available
we had
for
looked at him.
5, 6, 20
Jamaicans,
million.
Not
Listen, we
Jamaicans,
don't do
boy.
that, man. We wait till they get that initial move, and then we go in when
Nah,
when
I'm
the
with you
value
on that
skyrockets.
one, Brush. Like I'm with you. Like they need to start
Like
shopping
Casado, we could have had him for 5 million.
yeah, they need to start shopping in different markets, man. They
we
only
need
shop
to
in Europe.
Enzo Fernandez was sat there for how long, and he was going for about 15 million.
like. I remember watching a Stephen Howson scout report video on Enzo Fernandez and
Yep.
Julian Alvarez when
Mm-hmm.
they were at River
Alvarez is
Plate,
another one, bro.
and going, oh, these players look. And I just watch these YouTube videos and go, oh,
Yeah,
okay, those players look good. And then they become World Cup winners, key members
yeah.
of the World Cup team, and cost crazy figures between the two of them.
Yeah,
But
it's insane, courts. And the thing
we
is, we've
seem
got the
to
capability to do that, bro. And we can even do it. So even if they're not ready for our team, yeah, at that
we
price, you
need to
can
get a
afford.
feeder club
Yeah, listen, at that price,
to
But
you can
loan them
afford to
to.
buy them and loan
Sporting
them
is our
out.
feeder club. Sporting
No,
is
but
our
I'm saying get a club that we can loan them to.
A
oh
bit
They need
like
to
okay.
what Chelsea
utilize
do with
Nice.
Strasbourg.
They need to utilize
I
the
think
power of
I think
Nice.
I
Yes,
think
guys.
Sunderland at some point, Sunderland and like teams like what's it called, Preston North End were the ones we used to loan to at least
Those were just because of
in
tied. So like Preston was when
and Beckham
oh
was
you
there.
had
We have
when you had Darren, is it that, yeah, Darren Ferguson was there for a bit.
and
We
yeah
used to have a
and
connection with Royal Antwerp out in Belgium years ago.
Yeah.
yes, but at
But
We
some
have
point,
got feeder
those
clubs.
more recently it's Sunderland because we aside from Ahmad, I feel like we sent a couple of other
Paddy
players there
McNear.
too.
There's been people
Did
sent to Sunderland
did
over the
Donald
years.
Love go there as well? Or am I bugging?
He might have done, bro.
You
He
know,
might
you
have done.
know, you know. We do have feeder clubs, but they don't choose to send players there. We got
Yeah.
Nice should be our feeder club.
Yeah.
Coney's going to that Swiss team. That Ineos own. I think is Swiss. It's a
Luzerne,
Swiss.
Sports Club Luzerne or something.
Yeah, Coney's going there in on loan. So we have got clubs, but look at Chelsea and
But
what they're doing with
yeah,
Strasbourg,
listen, we
sending all
need
the
to
players there.
establish clubs in
Why aren't
Spain
we
and
sending
France,
Somebody's
bro.
taking your
players there?
place.
Yeah, that's an
We
interesting
need to
question.
establish connections in France and Spain.
Do you know what it is? I think it's having focus because for the longest time, it's always been said that there's too much going on. Like there's too many people doing too many things. And then whenever people are trying to give a report back, nobody cares. Like people don't listen. So there needs to be some sort of this is the strategy, go forth and conquer, come back with the report, and this is how we're going to play it. Because you don't want a situation where we're buying young players and then people are like, you see, we got this guy, we put too much pressure. So obviously we don't want that. We want to
We
buy
need to
them without.
cast a wide net, bro. There has to be a variation.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like it must be focused in the sense that we know what we're looking for in those regions. It mustn't just be sending scouts out for the sake of it and then we never see the fruits of that. You get what I'm saying? And there needs to
Of
be people
course.
who are actually gonna listen to those guys, because there's no point in having the best scouts in the world if the guy who's gonna make the decisions is also useless. If he's gonna be like, okay, cool, but I wanna buy this. I'm not saying that the new guy's gonna do that, but yeah, I'm gonna buy this guy because he's gonna sell shirts. Then what are we scouting for, bro? People are making money every month just for you to ignore them. It defeats the purpose.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
it's got to
definitely
be with a
right.
plan. It's got to be with a plan. They need to
Yeah,
know like
Everybody's
what
got to be on
position.
everybody's got to be on the
Hmm.
same page. So the scouts have to be on the page with the executives. The executives have to be on the page with the scouts. You can't have scouts scouting talent and then you're turning around and going to Europe and buying a $90 million player just because you want to sell shirts. That doesn't make sense.
yeah.
If you look at Man City, like all the way through their academies, they play the same way.
Didn't they try to do that with LVG and I think Ten Hag, right? When those guys came in, essentially, because the academies were being told to do a certain thing that the guy at the top was doing. But beyond that, I think this is where people like Omar Brothers, bread and butter should be, because we brought you in for the strategy. As the CEO, when you're sitting down with the other guys, the director of football, you're supposed to be saying, guys, we're trying to win. This is how we're trying to win. And this is the kind of people we need to win. So that even when we're buying players, getting managers, it makes sense. There's no cohesion at Man United at the top. So we can't expect cohesion when the window opens, in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. They need to
Yeah,
fix
I
something.
hear it, but I mean, obviously, we've only seen this for a year, so every summer now we're just assessing, and we build up a profile on these guys and how they're operating. Obviously, there's been like a bit of a circus earlier this year with the whole Ashford situation. Now
Mm.
they seem to have moved a few pieces about. Jason Wilcox has a new role, so we'll have to see how it pans out.
But one thing I do like is that it seems like the people right now who are operating seem to be on the same page, because the biggest problem with Dan was that the other people were singing from one hymn book and then Dan was like, yeah, but what about? And it's like, Chief, we're in a choir. You can't just bring your own song.
But
Let's bring
I'll
our
tell
own
you what,
Bro's
thing.
though,
trying to
Vegeta.
like hit them excessive riffs for no reason.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
though, Vegeta. They spent what 6 months scouting this man, and he was in the job for 5 months.
You
So
know what happened there,
there's
Brush? This is
something
the
to
most
be said
African.
about their due diligence as well.
Brush, let me tell you what happened. I see it in South Africa all the time. It's the most African thing I've ever seen. You know when there's a process, but because the homie needs a job, you like come through. That was a Sir Jim thing.
But
The
I'll
other
tell you
guys
what, though,
managed
I
to
think
get
it's
Ivan.
more of it's made than it should be because it's us in it. Because like, listen,
Yeah.
Newcastle got rid of Paul Mitchell. No one's talking about it.
Yeah, he was
Facts.
there. He was there for less time, I think.
Yeah, and all
Like
our fan base were
realistically,
losing their minds, going, "Oh, we missed out on Paul Mitchell. Well, where's he now? He's gone."
like you said, Brush, like how many of these CEOs and chief executive officers and like all of these different labels that people have in a club move week in, week out, but you just hear nothing about it because
Exactly,
their
bro.
clubs are irrelevant in
Hmm.
comparison. Like no
Because
one
we're
cares.
United, everything's magnified, isn't it? So it's one
Yeah,
of them ones.
it's like a big magnifying glass for real.
But I
Yep.
wish our people operated as if we were under a microscope, because if you were on Big Brother, bro, there's some things you're just not gonna do because you know people are watching. Like, you can do that thing in the comfort of your house where there's no cameras, but when the people are watching you, you can't do dumb things and you can't allow stupidity to happen, in my opinion. That's why
They
when
say
people
that, but human behavior will always prevail, Vegeta. Like in those shows, bro. A couple of weeks in, yeah, they don't care about the cameras, man.
Yeah, they
Have
don't.
you
They
seen
really
have you seen
don't.
some people in the like KG's calling show, like calling him from the shower and that?
Yeah,
Some
no
listen.
one,
We've
no
had
one
people call in from the delivery room, from the
from the
shower. Like the
delivery
man.
room.
Shower.
that's KG. He bred that community. He knew what, and also
That is
KG's a
very true.
criminal. KG's a criminal because you see a preview. So he saw the preview and said, "Hang on, are you
That's what
sure
I
Yep,
was.
yep,
you know that?"
yep. He saw a man in a shower cap in the back and thought, "Hold on, I need to bring him onto stage."
Imagine that, bro. But you know what? I feel like people have been stressing too much, I guess, on the incoming guys. Are we not worried about selling? Because
Same.
to seasons with people we just don't need to be there. People who refuse to align with what we're trying to do. Because ultimately, for me, you can make good signings, but the good book says a little bit of leaven spoils the whole bread. So you can have good players, but if you've got rotten potatoes in the sack, other people are also getting rotten because of these people.
Well, that's why we're trying to get rid of like majority of what you're stating is rotten potatoes, but it's going to be very hard. I read somewhere that Rashford is probably going to agree to take a pay cut just to go to Barcelona. I don't know how true that is. I hope it's true because he
But
does need
I
to
don't know if
go.
Barca can even if he's to take the pay cut. The question is, can Barca even afford him?
Yeah, I think they might try to take the piss. You know? They might try to loan him or something.
Like similar thing what they did with Aubameyang.
You mean loan him from us?
Yeah, yeah. I think Barca will try to get out of pain. Because if you think about
loan him where they pay most of his wage and we just play some. Because that's the only kind of deal I'm looking for.
It would be some kind of split, but honestly, like he's at the age now where we really need to just sell, you know. And with Barca, for me, it doesn't make sense because you're going to hold bench there. Because I'm looking at their squad. You're not a first teamer. You're not going to beat Rafinha after the season he's had. You got a generational talent on the other side, so let's forget about that. And Lewandowski, in his old age, is still bagging goals.
Does Rashford? I think he probably scores quite a lot of goals as a striker in La Liga because there's a bit more space to run into.
But he would still be like the option off the bench, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely off the bench.
He's not starting for that team. There's no
because Lewandowski's numbers are insane for someone his age.
He's not starting for that team at all.
Lewandowski's
so funny though, Brush, that I find with that Lewandowski talk. Like everybody talks about Ronaldo at 40. Nobody talks about Lewandowski at his age still.
For real, for real.
That was what I was about to say, Riri. I was like, he's unfortunate that he's been around in a time where you've had like Ronaldo.
And we already know how he got robbed in
Messi.
2020, bro. That Ballon d'Or.
For sure.
Oh yeah, that Ballon d'Or was his.
That Ballon d'Or, yeah, definitely.
Then they ended it because give it to Messi. These crackheads, bro.
Because they couldn't give it to Messi or Ronaldo, they thought, let's just.
And there was only like 2 leagues that really ended, and most of the season was done anyway, man. It made no difference.
But they were like, that kind of just showed what the Ballon d'Or's actually about.
Nah,
just
but,
the popularity
but for
contest
time I've been saying that's favoritism and it's press. It's press.
There's a lot of politics as well, Riri, with the whole voting system.
The politics of it all. You know what I mean?
Not
nobody talks about that man, and he deserves his flowers because he's up there and he's been playing just as long as Cristiano and
consistency.
And his consistency.
He almost. It's mad though. He almost signed for Blackburn. Had it not been for that Icelandic ash cloud, and his career would have been way different.
Way different.
Way different. Well, we say that he probably would have been rescued after a season, didn't it?
Yeah, probably. Based on his talent.
But to be fair, if he went to Blackburn, we might have been able to sign him, like as in, because he would have been already in a prem similar area of the country. Where they said, "Bro, you don't even have to move house; just come join us." But what could have been?
Bro, what could have been in 2013, man, when his contract was running out?
But then again, United, we don't make sensible decisions.
We don't. No,
we don't. We really don't.
We would have searched the transfer market and gone 35 plus in age, and that would have been where we'd have looked.
It's crazy.
I'm sure that guy looked at what we did to Bastion and said, "Hell no, I'm not doing this, bro."
Oh, Bastion twice.
I ain't trying to retire like Bastion. It's too early for me.
Hey, the way Jose disrespected him, man. Consummate professional, that guy. I've got a lot of love for Bastion.
Man. And he still speaks highly of the club, bro. Like
every time we play, he tweets.
Yeah, he still speaks highly of this club, bro.
Unlike these brats that tweet every week.
Jose's another criminal, bro. Like Jose's another criminal.
Nah, but Jose is out for Jose. I mean, that guy didn't even buy a house. He was staying in a hotel. He just does things for himself. So it is what it is. But yeah, you know what? Coming back to the conversation regarding our transfer strategy, it is worrying that our people are mercenaries of the highest note. Like, if Osama was still alive, he'd be proud of the level of terrorism these guys at this point, Man United. Because
I mean,
one,
it's a symptom of the old regime in Vegeta. I do think it will change, but yeah, we've still got the residue left over
Yeah,
from before.
it's slowly going to change, but it's going to take time. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, because our fan base has been suffering for so long, their patience has been wearing thin. And I think they've gotten to a point now where they don't have the patience anymore to sit
Hmm.
there and deal with the slow process of change. And they they it's asked of them, but they're not giving it, which is, it's the same thing with just like this manager, with just everything, because we've been suffering for so long. We don't have it anymore. Like, we just want it to be fixed, and we want it to be fixed yesterday, and that's not going to happen. It's going to take some time, and it's not, we they've been moving somewhat positively. They've had a couple of hiccups. We know they've had a couple of hiccups, but I think they have been moving positively, um the last couple of windows, with showing us that they're not willing to overspend and bring in like the star players just to sell jerseys, as like our actual owners constantly do. So
and mind you, these guys have put
I
their own
got
money.
I got to bounce, guys. Have a nice afternoon, evening. I'll catch you in a bit.
coach,
You
take
too,
care, man. Be
coach.
safe
Big up,
on the
bro.
Big
road,
up.
bro.
No, it's okay. We'll end the last 15 minutes with just looking ahead, because obviously the window isn't closed, guys. I know the way United fans are talking on the streets, you'd think that it's August. We're going to kick a ball
It's because we have PTSD from previous Windows Vegeta.
Yeah. When
It's
does the
still
window open again?
the
next week.
16th, they said.
The 16th?
So yeah, so it's around the corner. It's not like it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
finished.
this is
Monday.
only a 1 week break. I don't really understand it, to be honest. It just means the deals can't go through. I'm sure
Do
clubs
do
are
we
still
do we think
speaking,
do we
and
think the day the window opens, we get a here we go for in Bumo?
So that's the
Yeah.
question I asked earlier on, funny enough, because we did that with Cunha, because we had laid the groundwork. I would like to believe that we're at a point with Mbuemo where it shouldn't be impossible for the 16th to come and we introduce him. Now that
I
the
think
kid's even
I
been
think
released.
Pav had explained it to me where something is like Pav, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you explain it to me like it's something where with regards to like last year's books as opposed to this year's, having it on this year's books or something like that? That's why they do it that way. Brush, you may be able to say something on that too, because you guys know that kind of ins and outs kind of situation.
sorry, what was that?
No, I think Pav had said with Cunha, the reason they didn't do it prior to the window opening is so it would be on this year's books and not
Oh, yeah,
last.
yeah. So in terms of like PSR and that, so that
Right, right,
it
right.
registers that way. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. So
maybe
that's.
that's the same thing with him in
Hmm.
in Bumo.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm sure they're doing it in that way as well with Mbomo in terms of finances, to making sure that the records reflect it in terms of PSR, and then also it's going to be a deal where it's in installments anyway, isn't it? So
Yeah,
we'll
that
probably pay
that
like
that deal
20
is
million a
clearing up
year.
for sure.
Yeah.
And are we mad if it's on the 16th and it wasn't yesterday when the window closes? Let's
Oh,
be
I don't
honest.
really care as long as they get their primary targets. That's the important thing. And also, I would like the main targets to come in
Yeah.
for preseason. We never get
Yeah,
the
that's
main business
basically what I
done for
was.
preseason. So I need
Yeah.
them to all settle in, go off on the tour together, and get fit and all of that, get right. Because when you come in at
Do
the end
not
of the
get
window,
injured
yeah, that too,
with
man.
these
Euro
fucking
last season.
with
And they
the
just start
stupid
gelling as a
astroturf
team.
that the United States has.
Hmm.
Ugh.
And yeah, it's a shame as well because look how Euro finished the season, man. If only we had him from the start.
I hear that. Side note that has nothing to do with United. FIFA is struggling to sell tickets for this Club World Cup. I
I'm not
think it's worth
surprised.
hosting
Yo,
Have you
it.
I
seen the
get
prices?
2-3 emails a day trying to bundle the World Cup with the with the Club World Cup just so they can sell tickets, but the prices are ridiculous. Like, in they're giving you Club World Cup tickets, and then you get a lottery kind of situation for like the semifinals and finals of the World Cup, like one of the games but you don't know which one of the games until like you purchase it, and that shit is like 2,000 or something US. I'm not
Nah,
buying
you're
that.
joking.
I'm not buying that
Insane.
for what?
It
I
doesn't
don't want to
make
go.
sense.
And the Club World Cup is nowhere near New York, So that would mean I'd still have to buy a flight to go
Yeah,
to
travel
those
as well.
games, and that's not happening. So
Yeah, I think they picked the wrong country for the first iteration of
Yeah,
this
I
nonsense.
don't
it's
think
not the
I
wrong
don't
country.
think I don't
Okay,
think
yeah,
I don't think they planned on this idiot being
exactly,
president of this country.
exactly.
I don't think when they picked this country they planned on
They
that
did it
asshole
during the
being
previous
in
administration.
office.
So,
So
uh, that, I
They
the
don't
should
want
just
World
bring it
Cup is
home.
going. The World Cup
to
is going to
travel.
be a situation too, because if we have unrest, a lot of people are not going to want to come here. So
Yeah, it's not looking very good. They should just bring it back here, guys. Like there was vibes.
Yeah.
South Africa, just
In
bring it
South
back.
Africa was vibes. I was super mad when it happened and I was in uni on the other side of the world. I was fuming. Because
Man,
if I
just
had
bring
been
it
in
back here.
Ghana, I would have convinced
it
my
might end up
father
where
to fly me
majority
to
of it might end up where majority of the games are going to be played in Canada and Mexico.
and Mexico. Yeah.
Ooh, but hey, I don't care. That's their problem for them. What are we saying about the season, guys? If we do get, I think we'll probably get 5 signings, maybe 6 at a push. But if they all our primary targets, because the first team needs help.
But what is
Like
our
let's be honest.
primary target? So our primary targets is the 2 10s up front and a striker. Am I correct? That's the primary ones.
And I think
Then we need a
goalkeeper and
A
a center.
goalkeeper.
people were saying we need a 6 and a goalkeeper.
Yeah, 6 and a and
Yeah.
a, and a midfield. And so far we've had concrete talks for the number 10s. We know obviously Cunha, Mbuemo. Striker, we're looking at different options. We were talking to a goalkeeper or two apparently. So we know that they are looking at those areas of the pitch. And then the midfield one is a bit it's not really there. But let's say hypothetically in a perfect world, we do cover those positions. What is the expectation for Ruben? Because guys, minus goal difference back to back and 15th and 8th is not good.
I said
Well,
Europe.
the 8th is not on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying for the club. I'm looking at it from
No.
because
Yeah. Well, I've been saying for time that top 6 is my expectation. I know there's a couple of people that want him to be top 4, but I've been saying if we get back into Europa, even that would be an accomplishment coming from 15th to top 6. I would say that's an accomplishment.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
we have to
For
really
his
analyze it at the end of the window.
For his full season.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you need to come back to this question at the end of the window to really analyze how we're looking for the season. But for me, at the moment, I'm thinking top 10, and that's disgusting, I know. But when you really look at the level of competition in this league, it's very hard to push on further. Even if you have a fantastic window and you get your targets, it's going to take the players time to gel and get a rhythm going. And in this league now, it's so unforgiving.
Yo, Brush, to speak on
Yo,
that though, this league has gotten a lot more competitive.
so just to break it down to you guys,
As
yeah.
a football
Mhm,
enthusiast, I love it, to be fair.
mhm. Like, listen, there's no surprise to me that the 3 teams that came up are the 3 teams that went down. They're the 3 teams with the smallest budgets in the league. Everybody else now is signing international superstars. So it's insane. For instance, Crystal Palace last season finished 12th with 53 points. The season before, they got 49 points and finished 10th. The difference between 4th place and 8th place the last 2 seasons has been 8 points. So those 5 teams from 4th to 8th within that gap for the last 2 seasons, 8 points. And then we saw how it went down to the wire this past season gone in the race for that top 4, where Nottingham Forest missed out by just one singular point, and they were on 65. So it's very difficult. So even if we have a really good window, guys, I think this takes time for them to gel, and you have to really get a rhythm going. So,
but then you also got to look at the other side of that Brush, where a lot of these lower teams that did good or did well are getting raped and pillaged, and and most of their best players are going places, so then they have to
re-up
recoup.
as well. Yeah,
Re
I
up
hear
as
that.
well.
I hear that.
So
There'll definitely be 1 or 2 of those that swap around, maybe like a Nottingham Forest.
so that's the other side of it that
Yeah, yeah.
that you got to look at
There,
too.
there's
You know what I
definitely
mean?
that. But then when I'm looking at the amount of money in the top 10 already, and they're all going to reinvest and get reinforcements, it makes it difficult, especially for us, where this manager, there's still a lot of question marks around him. Me personally, guys, I'm not in favor of a back 5, but it is what it is. That's the way we've chosen to operate, so we need to fully back it. And for this system as well, like it kind of baffles me that we're not linked with any wing backs, because there's a lot of emphasis on wing backs in this formation. And for me, all of the options we have are rotational options. We don't have a singular one that's out and out just a quality wing back. I was quite annoyed about the Out-Nouri deal to Man City. I thought he was there for the taking, especially because we got Cunha as well. I thought, you know, that would have been a smart move for us, because that would have patterned the left-hand side, and he's played with Cunha before as well. Frimpong went for a similar price to Dorgu. Kirkes is off to Liverpool. There's a lot of options that we missed out on, who I think would have added quality in those positions for us. So we'll have to see how it plays out.
And that's probably because they're not focusing on that position.
On that position, yeah. But at some point, they're going to have to. We probably need another.
They will.
Yeah,
I mean, on that right, you got Delo and Ahmad. On the left, who do you got? You got Dorgu.
Yeah.
And then Shaw.
And that McDonald's mascot.
I'm not even really including Shaw, you know, because I think
that McDonald's mascot.
Thick thighs. Thick thighs.
That criminal, that Ronald McDonald is going nowhere, bro.
Yeah, poor guy, man. Poor guy. Like, listen, he's made out of biscuits. I think we would all get rid of him if given the choice. He's on 150 grand a week, and he knows he's not going to earn that anywhere else.
That left side's gonna be looked at a lot this season, because
and I know we've got the young kid Leon coming in, but he's what, like 18. I know he's built like a beast, but he's very young.
Unless they keep Amas and I think use Amas in that position with Dorgu and interchange the two.
Yeah, and even him though, like there's so much inexperience when I look at it, really, like because you know, Amas is a kid, Dorgu as well. He's coming from.
Yeah, they're both kids.
And he's only 20 years old. And he hasn't even played wing back before coming to us.
Yeah,
like, I only saw about 3 games of him at Lecce. One of them he was on the right wing. The other 2 he was a left back in a flat back 4. And because Lecce were in a relegation battle, you know, they got hammed 4-0 in both of the games I saw. So it's not really a good sample size. So yeah, it takes time. Mazraoui as well now is a rotational option.
Yeah, he is.
A right centre back and right wing back.
And the right wing, yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, we've lost Lindy and Evans, and there's a lot of pressure on Heaven now. So for me, ideally, I'd like to get a more experienced centre back coming in, but I don't know if that's possible this summer.
Theo Hernandez, how old is he? Like 40?
Theo Hernandez is, I think he's about 27, so he's prime time.
Yeah, I was just being sarcastic.
So spicy, really.
He's had a bit of a mixed season this season. He's declined a bit, but still, he's better than anything we have. And I think he's turned down Saudi. If that was possible, that would definitely upgrade us. But
people keep talking about Saudi and this money. You know, I keep telling people there's a lot of people who still want to win stuff in Europe.
Also, the other thing as well, really, I think we forget as well that these people are already millionaires.
Yeah.
So for some of these people, it's nothing to turn down money because they're already getting paid.
Exactly.
Maybe we're thinking with our normal consumer heads.
That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is. Remember, I said that to you, Vegeta, when you and I had the conversation about Bruno. I said that to you. I said we are thinking like, you know, like us that play everyday bills. These men already have money.
I'll tell you what, though, Riri, from the club's point of view, I would have sold. I think the smart business decision would have been to sell. You've got an asset.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got an asset. He's 31 in September.
Yeah, I think that pressure came from the manager, though, Brush. I think the manager wants him. He wants to keep
him. Now he's put pressure on himself because now
I want to say Bruno actually said that the club don't need the money. So hey.
Well, I think that what he meant, was they don't need the money from his sale. So
it could have been some fine detail into that.
But I think the manager's put pressure on himself now with that one because, funny enough, I actually have a lot of question marks around Bruno staying. Don't get me wrong, I think he's our best player. He's not somebody that you can replace 1-for-1. But now you have to look at where the hell he fits in, because if we got 2 10s coming in and Cunha and Mbeumo, where does Bruno play? Because for me, there's no 2-man midfield that works with Bruno in our squad.
But when he plays for Portugal, Brush, he doesn't play in the 10.
Oh no, Well, I mean, they kind of switch sometimes, but when he plays in the 3,
but for the majority, he doesn't play in the 10.
Yeah, but when they do that though, there's usually 3-man in midfield, isn't it? but we can't do that.
You're right about that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So in a 2-man midfield, I don't see it. So that's the problem. So the only other thing I can see is if you play Bruno in a 10 and then one of them, Mbeumo or Cunha, goes up top. But then that's kind of pointless in bringing those guys in, and it looks like we're going for a striker anyway. So that midfield balance.
Maybe they're setting that up just in case we don't get a striker.
Yeah. I mean, as a backup option, and over the course of the season, there's going to be injuries and stuff, so I can definitely see him doing that.
Yeah, and to Pav's point, when Mbeumo goes to AFCON, because
for that kind of stuff.
AFCON, like AFCON is like for half of the year, like it's crazy.
It's but in the middle of the park, I do
2 weeks or 3 weeks.
I think if you go all the way to the final, I think it takes up the month, doesn't it?
Right, but Mbeumo plays for Cameroon.
For Cameroon, yeah. So
they're not going anywhere, especially with a goalkeeper like Onana.
Yeah,
I mean, last time round they dropped him.
Exactly.
But look, some closing statements from my side. I'm usually a pretty grounded fan. I live in reality, but I also want United fans to entertain the possibility that anything can happen, because we've seen teams do stuff that we didn't think was possible. I mean, I didn't see Nottingham Forest finishing where they finished, even if they missed out on top whatever. Another thing I want to say about United is that we need to learn how to utilize both windows. We get so thirsty for the summer, we forget there's a whole January. And I know you can't do much, but damn it, look at what City looks like. They signed a whole new squad because of January. That's what I'm saying.
But City also have unlimited funds over here. I think with us, the problem is we spent so big last summer. January is still part of that whole yearly window, and they probably thought if we spend now, we can't properly plan for the summer.
Yeah, but I think that has to be part of the rebuild, to say that how do we get to a point where the January window also works, even if it's 2 signings.
Yeah.
Because then you're not operating on the back foot. Because look at what we're doing. We're trying to sign left back, center back, midfield. Realistically, most clubs are gonna sign at a push 6 players in a season. Realistically. So if you can find a way to stretch your budgets or fix the club to a degree where 2 people come in January. Now it looks like we go from 6 to
even
8
loan signings.
Yeah, we just need to operate.
Yeah,
in a manner that it makes it look better. It lessens the pressure of the summer, because if we keep saying summer, then good luck to us catching up. Because while we're doing summer, the other top guys are going to be utilizing January. Here,
but the thing is, though, Vegeta, for the X number of years prior, the other clubs haven't had the issues that we've had.
Exactly.
I think we put ourselves in a situation where we've got these guys that we don't need, that are on ridiculous wages,
and we can't get rid of them.
And we need to get rid of them. Once they move on, I agree with you.
Fans also need to divorce, because as much as people say not play FC, I've seen some crackheadness from the fans where we know fundamentally this person is not working out. We might like them, but it's just not working out.
Oh yeah, you're seeing it with Sancho. You're definitely seeing it with Sancho. Like there's a faction of this fan base that keeps saying, "Oh, yeah, Amarin never played with him. Oh, Amarin never this." Yeah, legit.
I saw in the chat somebody was saying, "I wouldn't mind." You have to mind, because their wages and contracts are standing in between the rebuild. Sometimes you need to take down the house and have just the foundation so you can build up a proper place.
Of course.
So sometimes maybe you like the way the wall looks, but the rest of the house is in such a state that even that wall.
Yeah, that's the thing, Vegeta. For years, we've just been putting a new coat of paint on a wall that needs stripping and replastering.
Bro, that needs like complete overhaul, bro.
Yeah.
So we'll see, guys. And like I said, I'm realist, but I'm willing to be open to the idea that United can surprise me, because at the end of the day, as we sit here today, everybody's on 0 points. I
hope so. I'll tell you what. So Nottingham Forest, right? Last season they finished 7th with 65 points. The season before they were down in 17th on 32.
Yeah, and I hope that Ruben works out.
Listen, anything, like I said, anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. A lot of these teams that were battling this year for positions, like Forest, like Brentford, like Castle, like a lot of their players are on the selling block, and a lot of teams are looking at them because of how well they performed last season. So we also got to look at that, because if their star power gets depleted, then it's going to be a lot harder for them to replicate what they did last season next season. So if we don't get a striker and we still get Mbeumo and we have Cunha, we can work with that. You know what I mean? It's not like we can't work with that. It's not like Mbeumo hasn't played a striker position at Brentford. He has. He picked up the slack for Tony, and he did a perfectly good job, because I watched him. I like him as a player, so I've watched him before. So
I'll take 20 points 20 goals any day of the week.
Yeah, man. So we just
regarding that midfield, I think the midfield is the one area where I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a reinforcement in, and they might just work with what we have.
That's why I went that whole conversation on KG's channel about if I would rather a goalkeeper than a midfielder. I said a goalkeeper.
Definitely a goalkeeper.
We can't do the Onana, but
because even if they run through our midfield and we have a goalkeeper that our defense can trust,
that can just shot, just a shot stopper would make all the difference.
Yeah, I don't want to see any more long ranges and a guy not diving.
So with midfield, I think I could see a situation in which we just kind of make do for a year before doing anything serious. Maybe Collie is the key. Who knows?
Or maybe we just hold the fort down until January. Like, these guys might have a plan. I'm praying. I'm living on a hope.
Kobe's another one. I'm looking at where he fits into all of this. He's a young man. We should really.
Bro, I hope he finds a place for Kobe, bro. Like,
if we're being honest, like, that's a player we should be building around. But I don't know if that's possible under Amorim. We'll have to wait and see.
I think he's young enough that if he locks in, he can be a creative number 6 if he wants to. I think he's young enough. That's just me. But we'll revisit this topic as the window goes, guys. Oh, well, I hope Bots does, because I just took over for today.
Vegeta said we will revisit. Vegeta, I feel like every day we're going to have a second show after Bots does his first show.
We're going to need you to rescue it. Like,
you're going to have to rescue it, bro. Like, legit.
I'll bring back the football and football power hour, guys. Don't worry.
Yes, definitely.
He's going to have us looking at
definitely, and not baby oil power hour. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know where he was going with that. I need to have a chat with my boss, because the channel needs him. He can't keep doing this. But
he's got to go to his next channel. That's what he needs to do.
Maybe I need to
advertise in here for his next channel.
The only
knowing him, he'll go over there and talk about football.
Right, exactly. The only here we go that he's been focusing on is the Diddy trial. Here we go.
Yeah, that will be funny. Peter, next time, my brother, I have kids that I need to feed right now, so I need to go do that. But
Vegeta, thank you again for doing this. Appreciate it. Big up yourself.
Always.
Exactly.
I enjoy football conversations.
You actually got brushed to stay on for a whole hour.
I know.
I don't do this often.
Yes, exactly. That's remarkable. You actually got him to stay on for an hour. So.
Hey, I try, guys. I try. I'm working on my hosting skills as a YouTuber. I'm trying. But guys, it's been Football Power Hour. You will see me back on the halftime with Vegeta to watch the Club World Cup. I'm starting with Atletico versus PSG because I couldn't be bothered with Al Ahly and Messi's team. No, kill me. I'm not staying up for that match. We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, I'll speak to him, guys. It's okay. Have a good evening, guys. Have a good day.
See you, man.
Cheers.